Namaste, welcome back to the channel. So moving ahead with the stipend series, the updated version 2023, we are going to discuss the institute with the highest stipend in India in the field of Ayurveda for a postgraduate scholar. And yes, you guessed it right, I am talking about the Tibbia Ayurveda College, New Delhi. So how much exactly the student earns during the post-graduation time and how exactly is it calculated? Is it a constant number or is it varying every time? So all those things will be discussed after watching this video. You will be able to exactly calculate the stipend at any given point of time, knowing certain things. So kindly watch this till the end, and if any of your friend is interested to know this information regarding stipend of this institute, definitely you should share this video because this is very authentic information which you cannot get anywhere else. As you know, the Delhi is blessed to have many premium institutes like Chaudhary Brahm Prakash, then you have the Tibbia and then the All India Institute. So premium institutes in terms of financial benefit I'm talking about, not the quality as such. Quality depends on the faculty there. So the financial section of these three institutes are on a higher scale because students are benefited through various allowances. So in this Tibbia college, which is located in Karol, the center of New Delhi, you can say, part of the National Capital Territory. So the postgraduate scholar is not just treated as a student, just like BHU Varanasi. Here he or she is being treated in with the designation of junior resident. So here also the residency is applied. So now you know, since residency is applied, the entire stipend structure changes to the allowances. Usually stipend will be used either consolidated, just like government colleges across the India, or it could have certain additions like Dearness allowance, like other national institutes like Jamnagar, Jaipur and New Delhi. Whereas this residency gives the benefits for these scholars to have other allowances like NPA, HRA, TA and other things. So we'll discuss them later. That is why the major structure itself is different, hence the variation in the stipend. Now the basic salary, or you can say the stipend in relation to these students are 5600, 57,800 and 59,500 for the three professional, you can say the postgraduates for second, third year. Now this is calculated based on the assistant professor post. Assistant professor has a pay scale of level 10, that is 5600 is the initial salary, that is basic salary. Same thing is given here for the postgraduate scholar. So this is according to 7th pay commission. So that is why there is a very little variation between a postgraduate scholar and just joined assistant professor with this pay scale. So if you see this structure, this is how you calculate the stipend by adding all this: dearness allowance, non-practicing allowance, traveling allowance, HRA. Dearness allowance means the inflation. Every 6 months the government assesses the inflation rate, and because of that there is a particular percentage of amount given as dearness allowance, DA. So this is depending on the basic salary. Now the basic, we have seen the number. As of now, the dearness allowance is 42% of the basic. That is from January to June of this year 2023. So for these 6 months, you have to calculate the DA, that is 42% of your basic. So in these three sections, 3 years, you have 23,562, 24,276, 24,990. How I calculated? Just calculate 42% of this 3, you get this respective DA. Which means if you have 100 rupees as the salary, 42 rupees is your DA. So together it becomes 142. Similarly, here you can calculate for respective basic pay. Now after that, NPA, non-practicing allowance. Since you are still a student and you are not allowed to practice outside, and as a general practitioner, private practitioner, even though you are a doctor, you have completed BMS, still you cannot practice. For that purpose, you are paid a non-practicing allowance. So government itself is giving you that particular practice money. So this is fixed to be 20% of the basic as of now. So if your basic is 5600, your NPA is going to be 11,220. Similarly, for the other two, you can calculate the NPA. So according to basic, even NPA changes 11,560, 11,900. Now the traveling allowance, we have spoken about it even during the BHU structure. The traveling doesn't have any discrimination. All the three postgraduate scholars will get the same, including the faculty and others who are having this TA. Are having very fixed amount of TA. How it is calculated, you can see here, Delhi is a part of TPTA city, one of the metropolitan city with a huge amount of, you can say, inflation rate and other things. So DPTST 7200 plus DA is your TA. So if you see the entire formula, how to calculate, here it is your rate of transport, what we saw just now, that is 7200 plus. Again, you have to calculate DA into rate of transport allowance by 100. I think you might be confused. We'll just go through that with figures. You can see here 7200 is fixed plus. Now the DA what is going on is 42%. 42% of what? 7200 you have to put there divided by 100. So the right hand part comes to about 3024. So add them, you go on to get 10,224. Imagine you have the DA to be increased to 45 in the next after 6 months. Then what you have to do? Instead of 42, you add 45. The right portion will change. Again, total will change. Again, which means with the increase in DA, the TA also increases. The only thing is all the three professional year scholars will get the same amount of TA. Here basic doesn't matter. That is the major difference between other allowances and TA. So now it comes to about 10,224 as the TA. Now after this, HRA, house rental allowance. Delhi again a part of TPT city, metropolitan, the premium capital. So the currently the 20%, 27% of basic is the HRA. So if you calculate the HRA of these three professional scholars, you are going to get around 15,147, 15,606, 16,065 as the HRA, house rental allowance. So again, it depends on the basic. Basic higher, HRA higher. Basic higher, NP higher. Basic higher, DA higher. Basic higher doesn't make any difference for TA. I think now you got the point. Now what you have to do is add all these things together. You are going to get the total stipend. So here it could be called as a salary. Now the entire structure finally summarizes in this slide. You can see 1,16,253 first PG scholar, 119,466, 122,679. The numbers are very high and very much, you can say, intimidating for the students to take admission in such colleges. Of course, you can aim higher, but these are just for 3 years. Don't get carried away by these numbers that you are going to get so much amount in these 3 years. Definitely this is plus because you are going to save a huge amount of money which you can invest later. But of course, don't get carried away because most of the students don't know how to utilize this money. Somehow they clear that 3 years and ultimately at the end of 3 years they don't have this stipend and they don't have the knowledge what was required, because 3 years with money usually knowledge takes backseat. So don't get carried away. Knowledge is preference, the stipend is secondary, and stipend should be saved for the future clinical purpose. This is my personal advice. Otherwise, there is no pointing in receiving and spending everything just to have a lavish lifestyle. So this is in relation to the stipend structure. Only thing missing here is the grade pay. How assistant professor varies from the student is because of this grade pay. There is a grade pay specific for those posts. So adding that, we will get the assistant professor salaries. So I have already made the videos of major national institutes and BHU, other institutes, even faculty salary, how it is calculated. You can go through that to know how much your teachers are being paid, so that you can get to know how much you have to extract the information from them. Nowadays, the students are not taking exact information required from the teachers. So both are just enjoying the money. So you should know how much your teacher is earning, so that you get to know why he is paid. So if he is not teaching, then that amount is not going to be used properly. So since the salary structure is clear here, you are going to be reducing or deducted with certain tax deducted at source. The office will deduct certain tax and then give you the rest of the money. You will be given form 16 at the end of the financial year. You have to fill the ITR, income tax returns. So if you have savings and if there is any provision for that, you will get the rebate. Otherwise, the tax will be paid to the government. Now, the stipend, I think by now you might be clear that it is not a fixed number like 80,000, 90,000. No, it's an odd number because of all these calculations. So every year twice it changes, because there is 2 times revision of DA every 6 months. So every time it changes, your DA changes, your TA changes. So that is why the structure changes. For the basic to change, the pay commission should change. Now 7th is going on. Basic will not change because that is pay commissions matter. The DA will definitely change. So when you add all those things and deduct the tax, then you get the exact net pay. Gross pay is what I showed in the last slide. Net pay is after deducting the TDS. Now, this is one example, not the recent one. This is of 1.5 years ago. Student receiving salary in this way. They get even the salary slip. You can see the basic HRA, transport, that is TA, DA, NPA, everything is crystal clear here. income tax has been deducted, some education cess has been deducted. So ultimately net pay. So this is not the recent version, of course, this is of the previous years. So with this information, I think you are now authentically aware of the fact that stipend in Tibbia is this much. So this was my whole aim. Don't listen to any kind of rumors and some random numbers given by some others. So this is the authentic information. So if any of your friend is interested to know such information, kindly refer them our channel, because multiple playlists are available. The subject matter is also discussed in depth, including commentaries and interpretations. So definitely I would say that you don't go out of this channel without anything. So definitely it's a gain. So thank you for watching this video. Kindly like, share and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, thank you.